You can also use this apple cider vinegar for diabetes because it lowers your glycemic spike if you drink some in water before you eat. Very good for diabetes as well. Okay, now I'm going to talk about cordials.
Must I put it on again?
No, it's fine. If it's cold a bit. This is a cordial, an elixir that I made. So an elixir and a cordial is the same thing. The cordial is basically the drink that you drink now. The elixir is the concentrate that you make for the cordial. So your cordial would be your concentrate with your spring water or whatever you're going to add to spruce it up. If it's going to be alcohol, if it's going to just be a cool drink, it's up to you. But how you make elixirs is, this is a grape and elderberry. So elderberry you would use for colds, flus, chest infections, those types of things. And then grape to taste nice, but grape also has resveratrol, which also helps with cancer and other types of issues like that. So all you do is you take it and you boil it, and you add some sugar and you add some lemon or lemon juice, because the acetic acid needs to break down the walls and give the tart taste, and then the sugar will then give the sweet taste because you're making a syrup. So an elixir basically is a syrup concentrate that you're making. Those are the ingredients, and obviously the amount depends on how big your pot is. But generally you would take 1 cup of sugar and you would squeeze half a lemon out, or whole, it depends on your taste buds. And then you would make your elixir concentrate. So if you want to then make an actual cordial, you can take a spoon or 2, depending on how sweet you want it, into your jug. Add your, if you want, you can add lemon and ginger. It's up to you what you want to flavor it with. And then you would add your distilled water or your sparkling water. And then there you go, that is your cordial concentrate. So now I'm just going to do, okay, before I do that, probiotics. Who knows what probiotics are?
So your tummy and your intestinal tract, but they're also in your mouth too.
Okay, so that's the bacteria, right? So a probiotic helps fight those bacteria and the damage it does in your body.
No, not all of them. You get good bacteria as well.
That's correct.
So, and they rely quite a lot on fiber, which is why you should eat lots of fresh veggies and fruit.
Absolutely. So that is your gut microbiome. Your microbiome is your good and your bad bacteria. Your good is regulating, and it will make your happy hormone, your what serotonin is made in the gut before it's transferred to the brain. It makes hormones also, so your gut a lot, and your immunity also is made in your gut. So to have a good gut microbiome is very important. So most of our sicknesses that we have actually stem from a gut microbiome imbalance, because so many things are made in the gut, especially the immunity. So rightly so, probiotics then help regulate the bad gut bacteria. And the probiotic is the same fermentation process as the apple cider vinegar. So here I made tapachi. Tapachi is a pineapple probiotic with cinnamon and cloves and obviously the sugar. So pineapple, there are certain fruits and certain leaves and so forth that have natural yeast on it. Apple is one, pineapple is another one, strawberry, rosemary, those are also others, and pine needles. So when you are making te pachi, it's more of a flavored drink that has probiotic characteristics. So you basically take the skin of the pineapple because it has the natural yeast on it, and the yeast, when it comes in contact with the sugar, preferably brown sugar, the process is then started. It then releases carbon dioxide bubbles, which is what you need to then burp. That is the fermentation process that then counteracts or makes it probiotic, which counteracts the bad bacteria. So you can make your own probiotics. Another probiotic is pine needle soda. So you just collect white pine, which is the pine needles that have 5 stickies on one node, basically. Pine needles are extremely amazing. You can eat every part of the pine tree, but pine needles, depending on how you use it, is extremely good for chest infections, for coughs, for your gut biome. And then if you're using it topically, it acts as stitches. So it basically glues your skin together if you are not able to have stitches, but you make a pine salve, which basically, as the gentleman said earlier, the basis of a salve is just a carrier oil. Can be olive oil or coconut oil or whatever type of oil, and you put the pine needles, you steep it in there for a few weeks, and then you add some beeswax that will harden it and make it a salve. That salve you can then put on a gashing wound, obviously once you've cleaned it with your yarrow, disinfectant, because it will seal the skin, it will glue it back together. So if there's bacteria stuck in there, it's going to fester, but the skin is now already glued back, like with stitches. Very difficult to reopen, and then it can actually make it so much worse because the infection can then, swell under the skin, which can cause a lot of other problems. So you have to make sure that you are disinfecting, cleaning the wound properly before you use pine needle salve. It's very potent. Okay? So the pine needle soda has shikimic acid in it. That can also be used for the spike protein that caused COVID. So if you have long-term COVID, or you have COVID, or anything related to COVID, it then inhibits the spike protein's job. So inhibit just means stop. So if you any type of virus, you can drink pine needle tea because of the shikimic acid in there. When you drink that, it inhibits the virus, and it then has the healing properties to restore your health. So, for example, when my uncle had COVID, I live with my uncle. My uncle had COVID and his cough was very bad, and I made him pine needle soda. Fermentation, same process, you just add some sugar to the pine needles with water. He drank that and he started coughing up all the mucus. It opened up his chest, it cleared his chest of all the mucus, and it helped inhibit the spike protein, and he got better super quickly after that. So pine needle soda is a nice drink. It tastes like Sprite. So you can drink it as a refreshing drink, but technically it's a medicine, and it's a probiotic, and. So it has a lot of, but basically a probiotic is where you're taking sugar and you're taking a herb or plant material with natural yeast on it, and you are fermenting it, and that fermentation process will help your gut microbiome regulate and heal.
So you said it's pineapple and
cinnamon,
okay.
and cloves and sugar. I didn't have enough pineapple skin, so it's a bit weak, but everybody can taste some if they want afterwards. So today we are going to make hibiscus cordial. Okay, you want to just lightly wash it because you don't want to wash all the yeast off. Okay, so you would then just take the hibiscus plant and you would put it in there. You want to take the green part off, so you want it like this because the nectar, you know, is in the middle. Now hibiscus is used or is very good for high blood pressure problems, but it also has it also stabilizes your blood sugar levels as well, so you can use it for high blood or for diabetes. And it tastes really nice. It has immune boosting properties as well, and can be used for other things.
Is that the hibiscus we have in the garden?
Yes.
I thought, because some sources say you can't use those, and it's a special, different type of hibiscus.
No, you can.
Oh.
So this is hibiscus tea, for example. It's just basically dried out leaves.
So you only use the flower, the flower leaves.
Yes.
In
It's
Egypt
basically
they have, it's got a smaller flower, smaller darker flower, it's quite a
Yeah,
sour
some is
taste.
red and some is pink.
yes. So it looks like this. when you
I've
dry
got
it out.
hibiscus tea.
You can dry it out naturally, or if you have a dehydrator or a freeze dryer, you can do it yourself. But because I'm showing you how to make a cordial, which is a drink that you will drink now, you're not making the elixir, which is the concentrate to store. We are making ready-made cordial to drink now. So you can then use the dried ones as well. And then the dried ones are quite sour. And you don't need a lot, maybe just one or two, and then the actual flowers themselves, and you put it in here.
So the store-bought is not as effective.
Store-bought what?
Like your hibiscus tea and your pomegranate
No, it
tea.
is.
Is it?
It is.
Oh. Like the
but
fresh
you-
pack, I like the fresh pack ones.
Okay,
Mm.
but I mean, if you have it in your garden, all the better.
Yeah,
because then you have
okay.
it on hand. Whoa, what is this?
So did you rinse those plants now?
Yes, it was rinsed, but it was raining also. But like I said, you don't want to rinse it too much because
Oh.
you want the natural yeast on the plant
Okay.
for the fermentation process. So I'm just winging it, but this basically is a cup of sugar that you put in.
If you're trying to avoid
Wouldn't brown sugar
processed sugar, can you use honey instead? Or does the
Absolutely,
yeast-
honey would be
or would the
preferable.
yeast convert the sugar?
It would convert sugar or
Okay.
honey.
Okay.
Wouldn't brown sugar be preferable?
It would, but I couldn't get.
So you could also use a nice trickle sugar.
Mm.
Very thick, it's probably better than the white sugar. But honey, would honey also make the syrup?
Yes.
Okay.
If you have honey,
Yeah.
all the better, but I want to preserve honey.
Bloody expensive.
And most people can't afford honey. I give these workshops to communities.
Okay.
So it's trying to make herbal medicine cost
Yeah, with what
effective
you've got,
what
yeah.
you've got. So if you have the better, that's
Then
great.
that's better.
Yes, yeah.
Preferably use the honey, but if you don't, sugar, and preferably brown sugar. But there's nothing wrong with using this as well. How do I
So for the elixir, you can use honey.
lift it? No? Oh. What do I do?
Push it over. Yeah.
Lift it.
Oh, there's okay.
No, I don't know.
Let's push it.
I'm telling you.
It's just a little lever.
Oh, it's a bottle. Oh, okay.
So for an elixir, you can use honey then instead of sugar.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, so the
Spoon.
the last one that I did, I made nasturtium cordial. So you can pick the nasturtiums in your garden or wherever they are growing. Every part of the nasturtium plant is also edible. It's also a good antibiotic, the leaves. It has like a peppery taste. You can make pesto from it, all those types of things. But the flowers, you can make a cordial from it. And so you just wait until the sugar is dissolved.
You have to wait long for that to draw.
No,
Oh,
just a few minutes,
oh, okay.
like 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can drink it. Okay, once this dissolves a bit, and I just want to add a little bit of ginger. My tissue has alcohol on it, so it's cleaning it.
If you make a ginger ferment, is that also probiotic?
Yes. Have you heard of a ginger bug? Okay, so same process, you add sugar to the ginger, it reacts with the thingy on the ginger. The yeast on the ginger, and then it will have the same fermentation process. So you would put ginger in maybe in a cordial for a kick or something. But basically that is how you then make cordial, and once it's cooled down a little and the sugar is completely dissolved, we will then add spring water and some ice for a nice cordial. And that's it for today.
Thank you.
Any questions?